ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ॐ। Today we will see the ninth chapter, 10th verse. मयाध्यक्षेन प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते. The Anvaya is Adhyakshena, by being in proximity or presiding over, supervising. Maya, by me. Prakritihi, Prakriti, the primal power. Sacharacharam, the moving and the unmoving. Suyate, produces. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Anena, through this. Hetuna, cause. Jagat, world. Viparivartate. It parivartate means it revolves. Viparivartate, it revolves over and again. So, because of my proximity, because of my sanidhya, because of my supervision, because of my being present, Prakritihi suyate, Prakriti creates all this, produces all this. What does it produce? Sa characharam, chara achara, that which moves and that which does not move. The mountains, the living beings, the beings which are in the water, the beings which are in the air, all this is produced. Whatever you see in this universe is produced by Prakriti. Why? Where does Prakriti get its power of production? From me, because of my Sanidhya. As yesterday we were seeing, there is fire, and because of fire the vegetables start jumping. It is because of fire, the heat, that vegetables jump. So Sanidhya in the scriptures, an example is given, just like when a king or an owner of a company or a owner of a household sits, and just because of the sanidhya or the presence of the king or that owner of the household, all the bhrityas, that is all the servants, they start working. In the Upanishads it is told, bhayat tapati suryaha indrascha agnischa, means because of fear the sun shines, Indra works, Agni, fire god, works because of the fear. So that's a figurative way to say that because of the ultimate reality, that is Brahman, all things move. All things move. And the world wheels round and round. The world is in a cyclical manner. It works. It's a cyclical existence. So it moves round and round. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya says in his famous Bhajagovinda Stotram, also called Mohamudgara Stotram, he says, again and again, Punarapi Jananam, you take birth, Punarapi Maranam, you die. In the Gita, Shri Krishna says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu, the death of all that is born is certain. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. So, you die and you take birth, and this is going on in a cyclical fashion. It's going on in a cyclical fashion, round and round and round. O son of Kunti, it is because of this that this Jagat viparivartate. Now, Sri Krishna is trying to explain what he is or what God is vis-a-vis the universe. With respect to the universe, what is God? That is what Sri Krishna is trying to explain here. And in that explanation, Sri Krishna follows a method of explaining which in Sanskrit literature is called Arundhati Nyaya. It's a maxim. Nyaya means not logic here, but a maxim. Arundhati Nyaya. What does it mean? So, it is believed that it is very auspicious to see a star called Arundhati. So, in the Sanatana Dharma tradition, when a woman is married and she goes to her husband's house, because in the Sanatana Dharma tradition, a woman is married and she goes to the husband's house. She does not stay in her parental house. So, when she goes to her husband's house, that is in law's house, the husband shows her a very small star, a tiny star. It is called Arundhati. Arundhati. But this star cannot be seen. This star cannot be seen. It's very tiny. So what does that person do? He tells tells his wife to see at a particular direction. See in a particular direction. So in that particular direction he sees. And when he sees in the particular direction, he points at the particular direction, and the wife, she sees in a particular direction. So when she sees in a particular direction, what does she see? He shows something very big. Suppose there is a big star he shows. Or he will show, say there is some skyscraper, high-rise building. He will show, look at that high-rise building. There are so many lights, look at that. And then afterwards what will happen? Then he shows, maybe he points to a tree and the branch of a tree. Then from there he says, you see there is this large star, can you see that star? Okay. Then afterwards he shows again like that, a smaller star, etc. Then that faint star which you cannot see, that star is Arundhati. So the method of teaching a subtle concept by teaching concepts which are known and they are gross is called Arundhati Nyaya. So if you want to teach something which is very subtle, which is very fine point, you start with gross things. And then that is called Arundhati Nyaya. Now here, Sri Krishna, the Lord, he starts from saying that all these beings are projected at the beginning of evolution. He says, everything, kalpadau visrajamyaham. In the beginning of the kalpa, I project these beings. Kalpakshaye prakritim yanti mamikam. So at the end of the kalpa, they go back to prakriti. So, and also he says that nachamam tani karmani nibadnanti. So these actions don't bind me. He says that. Then finally he says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. It is under my supervision that prakriti is doing. It is creating living and non-living things. It is creating things which are moving, chara, and non-moving, achara. So from that gross idea of the whole universe being created and again absorbed, evolved and involved, from there he comes to the idea that it is he who is presiding over this great universe which is going on. So the idea is final truth is what matters. Final truth or God or Brahman, that is behind all this universe. It is the final truth which matters. And that is the basis of all this universe. That is what is being told. So it is God's light or Brahman's light that is illuminating Prakriti, this entire universe. And so that is the relation between God or Brahman and Prakriti or universe. Then he says in the 11th verse of the 10th chapter, he says, Avajananti mam mudam manushim tanumashritam param bhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Avajananti mam mudam. Bhuta maheshwaram means, bhuta means living beings. Maheshwaram, Maha Ishwaram, great Lord of living beings. Mama, my, Param Bhavam, higher nature, my higher nature. Ajanatah, unaware of, not knowing, Moodaha, fools, Manushim, human, Tanum, body or form, Ashritam, Mam Avajananti. So, not knowing my true nature, what do? They take, fools disregard me. Fools disregard me. They disregard me who is dwelling in the human form. So now, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavata bharata. Bhavati bharata. So whenever righteousness declines, tadatmanam srijamyaham. I take form. So this is what Sri Krishna assures in the Bhagavad Gita. So he has now taken the form of Sri Krishna. He has taken a human form. But people who are unaware of his higher state, what is his higher state? He is the great Lord of all beings. So those people who are basically fools, they disregard me, dwelling in the human form. What did happen when Sri Krishna went and met Shishupala? So Shishupala is going on abusing Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna waited for 100 insults, 100 abusive words. And then he sent his Sudarshana Chakra, the disc, and he beheaded Shishupala. He simply chopped his head off. So, why did Shishupala do like that? He was unaware of the greatness of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is no ordinary human being. He is God himself. Bhuta Maheshwaram. So, Avajananti, they disregard me. See, when we see God, we don't want to see God in human form. That is why they say God always comes to us in human form. We should be very careful how we treat a particular living being. Not necessarily in the human form. God can come in any form. But we don't understand that. Because we understand only fear. And so if God comes with 8 hands, 10 hands, Ashtabhuja, Dajabhuja, Chaturbhuja, then we say it is God. If God comes in the form of an ordinary person, we say, oh my God, this is not God, like that, something we say. But whatever it is, we don't get afraid of that person. We do not regard that person because we don't think that person is God. So, Manushim Tanum Ashritam. I have taken the human body. I have taken the human body, human form. And so, people don't understand my true nature. And so what happens? They are fools. They are moodha. So fools we are definitely, because Shankaracharya says, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, moodha mate. Oh, people with dull intellects or fools, tell the name of God. Then in the 12th verse he says, Moghasha Mogha Karmano, Mogha Jnana Vichetasah, Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva, Prakritim Mohinim Shritaha. So Moghasha, Mogha Asha, vain hope, useless hope. Mogha Karmana hai, vain work, again useless work. Then Mogha Jnana, again vain knowledge, knowledge which is useless. Vichetasah, senseless. Mohinim, delusive. Rakshasim, of the nature of Rakshasa, the nature of Rakshasas, means demons. Cha, and Asurim, of the nature of Asura, which is also another word for demons. Prakritim, nature, Shritaha, possessed of, eva, indeed. So, these people who disregard me, God says, means who avajananti ma mooda. Moodaha mam avajananti. These fools, they disregard me. And when they disregard me, what do they do? They disregard me. So they disregard the Lord. Goes without saying that they also disregard themselves. They disregard their true nature. What is the true nature? Self, Atma, Satchit Ananda Atma. They disregard that. When they disregard that, then what happens? They see themselves only as bodies. When they see themselves only as bodies, what happens? Vain hope. Vain means useless hope. Means futile hope. There is no cause for such hope. In the Upanishad it is told, Asha hi paramam dukkham. Nairashyam paramam sukham. Hope is the cause for great suffering. So you hope that somebody will give you a cup of tea. You don't get a cup of tea, you get angry. You hope that the breakfast will be very tasty. The breakfast is very bad, you get angry. You hope the lunch will be very tasty, you get angry. You hope that somebody will say, I like you, I love you. They don't say, then you get angry. So there is lot of vain hope. Vain hope means useless hope of vain work. In Kerala, there was a saint, his name was Narayanath Prand. So this saint was almost like that Greek saint Sisyphus. So there is this parable of Sisyphus. Sisyphus used to go to a big mountain and take a rock. He used to spend almost half a day in pushing the rock above the cliff, and when he went up the cliff, when he went up the mountain, then from the other side he used to just drop it down. It used to come tumbling down. That was the Sisyphus. So similarly in Kerala, there was a person whose name was Narayanan, but they used to call Narayanath Prand. Prand in Malayalam means lunatic, a person who has lost one's marbles. So lunatic, has gone bonkers. So that person used to whole half day, forenoon, used to push a rock up a cliff, and then the next half of the day, it will not take so much time. Only to go up you take time, both in cliff and also in life. So from other side he used to just put it down. So people thought, what stupid work he is doing, no use. Then somebody went and asked, what is this you are doing like this work and it has got no use? Then he said, all of you are doing the same thing. You think there is lot of use. What is the use? Every day you are eating and every day it goes out of your body. Every day you have to eat. Every day you have to take bath. Does not mean you should not take bath every day. That is not what is being told. This is cyclical nature and it is futile, of no use, vain work. Vain work. That's why Swami Vivekananda says in Karma Yoga, this whole world is like the tail of a dog, dog's tail. Try stretching it, try straightening it. You can never straighten it. You can never straighten it. So, vain work, mogha karmana hai, but which is of no use. Mogha jnanaha, also knowledge of no use. You study chemistry today, after 3 days you have to again study because something new has happened. After 3 years you have to completely, whole syllabus has changed, you have to study. Mogha jnanaha. This knowledge is vain, of no use. Vichetasaha, senseless. Why senseless? Because you don't have any sense. Usually when we want to scold somebody, we say, have you no sense? So if now nobody has sense, we are seeing matter as conscious and we are seeing consciousness as matter. We are thinking the body is conscious and we are thinking Atma is unconscious. So we are senseless. So that is what? Senseless. Mohini. Delusive. So delusive. Only after somebody gets diabetes, they like laddu. Delusive. Before diabetes also laddu was there. They might not like it so much. When you tell that you cannot have this, they want to have that. They're delusive. So delusive state. You think that this is the end of the world. That is delusive. It removes all in the Bhagavad Gita, 62nd and 63rd verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Second chapter. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. So, a person meditates on the sense objects. Now, that is the psychology. We are deluded. And because of being deluded, Rakshasim Asurim Prakritim Sritaha. You are possessed of the nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. What is the difference? Rakshasas have Rajoguna, Asuras have Tamoguna. So because of delusion, you are possessed of Rajoguna. The Rajoguna person, what does he do? Full of activity, jumping here and there whole day. Tamoguna person, what does he do? No activity, simply lying down and sleeping and will not eating also will be like that. All old stale food they will eat. They will, so tamoguna we can see, they will have the fridge full of food and they will put it inside tamoguna, stale food, and then microwave oven will be there, then that they will heat and then he will eat. Why? And Rakshasim is Rajoguna. If this person wants good food every time, it should be very tasty, very full of spices, and it should be hot, then that person will eat. They are not sattva guna. No food by itself is sattva or rajas. This is something people should understand. And nature of the food means how you treat the food. If you take rice hot, that is sattva. But if you keep it and you make it stale and eat, then it is tamoguna. So there are many people who make it a point to make religion out of kitchen. Swamiji says, we have brought the religion to the kitchen. So it is not like that. No food is tamoguna or rajoguna or sattvaguna. It is how you treat the food and how you prepare it and how you eat it, which makes it sattva, sattvika, rajasika or tamasika. And so, Rakshasas have rajasika nature, asuras have tamasika nature. These natures people have because of delusion. Because of delusion. Then Sri Krishna says, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso jnatva bhutadim avyayam. So till now he was telling about people who are fools and who do not understand that God is Bhuta Maheshwaram, the great Lord of all beings. But now he is talking about people who understand that. He says, Tu. Tu means but. Partha. Partha means son of Pritha. Mahatmana hai. Those who are having Mahatmana. Atmana means great souls. Those who are having great souls. Daivim prakritim ashritaha. They are possessed, ashritaha, possessed of daivim prakritim. Prakritim nature, daivim divine. So they have got divine nature. Ananya manasaha. They with one pointed mind. One pointed mind means ananya means nothing else. Manasaha means devoted. So a mind devoted to nothing else. They are devoted only to God. One pointed mind. Bhutadim avyayam mam jnatva bhajanti. Avyayam, immutable. Immutable. Bhutadim of Bhuta Adim. The origin or the beginning of all the bhutas, all the living beings. Jnatva bhajanti. Knows me to be the beginning or the origin of all living beings, and knowing me to be thus worships me. Worships me. That is Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. Not Rakshasim or Asurim. These people are Daivim, means Sattva Guna. Those who are possessed of Sattva Guna, they know that I am the Adi. I am the beginning of all living beings. They know that. And so they worship me with a focused mind, with a dedicated mind. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namastyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatam, always, constantly, kirtayantaha, glorifying me, mam, me, dridhavrataha, of firm resolve, yatantaha, striving, cha, and bhaktya, with devotion, namasyantaha, bowing down, cha, and nitya yuktaha, always steadfast, mam, me, upasate. So what they do? What do they do? These people who have sattva guna, they constantly glorify me. They stuti, they do stuti, they praise me. Stuti means what? To praise. Stunvantaha. So they always kirtayantaha. They glorify me, they praise me. And they praise me like what? Just now we had January 1st went away some days ago. So something everybody does on January 1st is take resolutions. A person will drink nicely up to 12 o'clock. Then say, today I will stop drinking. 12 o'clock is anyway over. So that day is over. Next day also okay. Okay, one day we can drink. What is that? So like that, New Year resolutions. remain only for few minutes. So New Year resolutions people take, all different kinds of, various kinds of resolutions people take, but that is not firm. That is not firm, because resolution is being taken when the person is in a highly spiritual mood, because spirit has gone inside that person, so that person has become spiritual. That means highly inebriated, highly intoxicated. Alcohol has gone inside that person. That person is, I will take this resolution. So what resolution? It's not firm. It's not firm. But here, drida vrataha. Drida means firm. Vrataha, resolution. Resolute. Resolute means people who have a firm resolve. So resolute. And then yatantaha, they strive. And with what? Bhaktya, with devotion. Namasyanta. And they bow down. They bow down. Namaskara. Nitya yuktaha. Always steadfast, focused on me. Mam upasate. They worship. So, it is said of the devotees. Nityotsavam bhavattesham nityashri nityamangalam yesham hridisto bhagavan mangalaya tano harihi. In whose hearts yesham hridisto bhagavan, God resides and makes mangala ayatana harihi, means makes that person's heart one's abode, mangala ayatana, holy abode. For them what happens? Nityotsavam bhavat tesham. Tesham nityotsavam bhavati. Nitya utsavam bhavati. For them, daily it is a festival. Every day is a celebration. Nitya Shri, Nitya Mangalam. Every day it is full of Shri, full of wealth, Aishwarya. Nitya Mangalam. Nitya, daily auspiciousness. So, people who constantly, so how is it daily auspicious and daily wealth? They might not have wealth. We see so many people who are devoted but have not much bank balance. So how is it that you can say Nitya Shri? The idea is they are content. They are content because they know that God alone is true, all other things are not true. So they are content. So like that, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridavrataha. So not only just firm resolve, but firm resolve itself is difficult, but with firm resolve, determined effort, yatantaha. They put lot of effort and they bow down, means they surrender. Bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. And they are steadfast and they upasate. They worship me, they pray to me. So here, Sri Krishna not only talks about people who, he first tells about his role in the universe. Then he talks about people who do not understand his role in the universe. Then he talks about people who understand his role in the universe, and then because of such understanding, what happens to them? Constantly thinking about God. If you constantly think about God, what will happen? The general idea is, if you constantly think about God, you will not be able to live, because you will take care of your worldly affairs, etc. But that is a wrong idea. The truth is, if you constantly think about God, then God will take care of you. God will take care of you. In the Gita itself, Sri Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. That means, I take care of the creation, addition and preservation of this universe. I take care of the accumulation and sustenance. So Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam is the motto of Life Insurance Corporation of India. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. What you have got will increase. At the same time, whatever is increased will be sustained, protected. So if you believe in God, if you pray to God, you would not be deserted. It is not that if you pray to God, all your money will go away and what will you do? Whatever is necessary for you will be given to you, both spiritually and physically and materially. So that is what is told here. So that is why what one should do, Satatam Kirtayantaha Mam. In the Gita elsewhere it is told that if a person dies, the thoughts which that person has at the end of one's life towards death, that is what that person will get. So if somebody thinks of God, that person will attain God. But if you have thought about only mutual fund and bank balance, then how will you think about God at the end of the life? You will not. That is why you have to start thinking about God even when you are young. Satatam kirtayantah. Constantly think about God. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.